So a couple weeks ago, I picked up two of the most expensive fragrances I've ever bought. Nishane Nefs and Shem. Luckily, I didn't pay full retail on these bad boys. I got them at a hell of a discount. But today, we're gonna focus on Nefs. I'm gonna give you a quick review, and then afterwards, I'm gonna give you some cheaper alternatives. Because this sucker is frickin' expensive, but it's so good. Let's talk about it. Cue that intro. What's going on, my beautiful fragrance family, and welcome back to My2Scents. I hope each and every one of you are doing freaking fantastic today. My name is Brian, and this is the channel all about helping boost your confidence through the art of fragrance and helping you become a lasting scent memory. Alright, so Nishane in 2019 decided that they were going to get into the luxury game. They were going to make some very luxurious, very expensive fragrances. And they did that. They absolutely did. Nefs and Shem. Now, Shem was released, I believe, last year in 2021. Nefs was released in 2019. Now, there is quite a bit of chatter behind this fragrance. I've had a lot of subscribers asking me to get my nose on it, asking me what I think about it. Well, at that point, I had never tried it before. Why? This is $570 full retail. Nishane as a whole makes fantastic fragrances. Shaghaf is one of my favorites, Ani, Fan Your Flames, and so on and so forth. But how does Nefs stack up? What's so special about Nefs? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. But before we do so, let me know if you have tried Nefs. What do you think of Nishane, and what do you think of this new luxury line? Go ahead and let me know. Do you think it's worth the cost? $570? You know what to do. Drop me a comment down below. But now, it's time to find out whether Nefs is worth some hype in today's Whiffs and Sniffs. Okay, I'm going to show you a quick box presentation. So, your normal Nishanes usually just come in a box. They have a sleeve, they pull out, and then they have a postcard inside. This one just opens up like so. You got this nice faux snake leather case. Nishane logo up here, and then it opens up like so, and your bottle sits inside. All right, so that is the box. Now the bottle, these are going to be a lot different than the normal Nishanes. It is a glass bottle that is wrapped in this gold casing here. I mean, it's super good looking bottle. It is kind of a fingerprint magnet. It's also hard to photograph, but it's still beautiful. Normal Nishane cap. Also normal Nishane atomizer. Not anything different there. But what about the juice? All right, I'm going to leave the notes up here for you. Here's the thing with Nefs and Shem. If you like Nishane fragrances, you're going to love Nefs and Shem. It's a whole new world of frickin' Nishane fragrances. It really is. I didn't think that they really needed to get any better. All right, so this starts out with a really nice fruity fig, all right? And that fig is juicy. It's got some earthy tones to it. You get the oud right off the bat. This is the only time I really get the oud. And it just adds a nice sweet, like woodiness right up top, kind of adding to that fig and the depth of that fig. You also get some really nice sweet spices. And shortly into it, the sweetness from some nice raw honey comes flowing and drizzling itself over that fig and blending in with that oud. And then right after that rolls in, this really nice sweet rose comes in. And this is more of like a sweet rose that is covered in dewdrops. It's got almost an aquatic feel, but it's not aquatic. It just adds like this dewiness to it. And you know, that is the first transition. Then you're gonna have two more transitions after that. But it takes hours in between for these transitions to happen. That's the craziest thing. But the first transition, really the heart notes start coming in and you start getting those florals. And the florals, I do believe it's like jasmine. I know there's rose, but they're blended so well. They really just help amplify that rose note, but it's not an overpowering rose. I would not say this is an oud rose fragrance. I would say that the rose is actually probably the least important part of this fragrance. It's still beautiful, but I mean, it's there, but it's not like overpowering. It's just kind of sitting back. But also with those florals, you're getting some leather. Now the leather sticks around the entirety of the fragrance. It just kind of gets stronger and then kind of subdues in the full dry down. But the leather is a big player in this. You have this beautiful balsamic sweetness as it's, you know, that's flowing through it pretty much the entirety. But once you get into about an hour and a half, whiskey. whiskey comes flowing in, and this is a beautiful whiskey. It's the way that the vanilla, the ambers are created around this beautiful spiciness, the beautiful vanilla. I mean, the whiskey is beautiful in this. The oud as well, I think is one of those woods that's really helping amplify and push off that whiskey note. Now, this is not like Couté or Baronda. This is a much more wearable whiskey. It's a softer whiskey. It's not a blast of alcohol. Being that it comes in further, you know, into the heart, and as it starts drying down, that's why it's not like an overpowering whiskey, because it's already, you know, settling down. And that's actually when I start getting even more spices. I get cinnamon, I get nutmeg, and it's blended so well to create, you know, this whiskey accord is an amber accord built around vanilla and woods and those nice spices like nutmeg and cinnamon. And that just carries on for another, you know, few hours, actually. It's crazy how this thing transitions. And so the next transition doesn't happen for about 3 more hours. And that's when the leather becomes the predominant note. The whiskey fades away. It's like you're done with your glass of whiskey. You're throwing on your leather jacket and you're going home. And it becomes nice and sexy. I mean, the woods are beautiful in this. The spices stick around, but you get that really nice, soft, supple leather. This thing is fantastic, okay? This is, like I said, this is Nishane on a whole new level. And performance is beastly. Now, this is packed with natural ingredients, but they are also using quite a few synthetic ingredients, because that's what Nishane does. They're really good at disguising and blending and hiding the ingredients that really boost the performance, which is coming from synthetics, guys. But it's okay, because you can't tell. You would just be like, wow, this is heavenly, because you can't smell it in there. But this thing lasts 24 hours. I mean, it is a freaking beast. But projection, it's good in the first, I would say, hour and a half, 2 hours. But it does at some point just get closer and closer and closer to your skin. You can still smell it, but that's the beauty of this fragrance. I would not want this fragrance to be just a huge monstrous beast. I think people would not enjoy it as much. I think the people around you wouldn't enjoy it as much. But the way that it's built now, everybody can enjoy it. It's an amazing fragrance. Amazing. $570 full retail. That's expensive, okay? Now, I did not get mine at that. I did get it very, very discounted, both of them. But these do pop up at discounters. I know that it was popping up at Max Aroma for like $260. I know at fragrancebuy.ca right now, I think they're $300, which is a way better price. It's very high quality juice, and it all depends on your budget. I'm not here to tell you whether or not I think it's worth it. These are made for people that make more money. They're definitely in a different income bracket, and that's fine. To each their own. It's a gorgeous fragrance. I would definitely say sample both of them first. Definitely sample. You can find decants, you can find samples out there. Check them out. If I find any, I will leave a link down below. But yeah, Nefs is fantastic. Definitely worth trying, especially if you're a Nishane fan. But there's cheaper ways of smelling like this. And that's what we're going to get into now. All right, so the way that we're going to do this, I'm just going to give you like a quick synopsis of each fragrance. All right, so these are all on different price brackets, okay? So I'm going to start with the most expensive and work my way down to the cheapest way. None of these fragrances are clones. None of them are dupes or inspired bys. They are just fragrances that lean in the same vein. I would say quality on a couple of them are just as good, but Nefs is fantastic, dude. It is. But the first one on my list, it comes in at $300 full retail. You can find it on the Kilian website, and it is Kilian's Musk Oud. Musk Oud was created by Alberto Morillas. I love this fragrance, okay? I actually have not even worn it this winter. I kind of forgot it was up there until I started like rummaging around. And I was like, oh, man, I love this fragrance. Musk Oud is fantastic. Now, this is an oud rose fragrance, but there's so much going on. The note breakdown is ginormous. You got beautiful musks in here. Beautiful musks. You also have this really nice rum, but it starts out with a little bit of citrus, some cardamom. You have these beautiful spices. I mean, it's Alberto Morillas and it's Kilian. Now, $300. So the aspects of this that you're going to get, like kind of like with Nefs, is that it's got a little bit of booze in it, and it's got rose, and it's got oud. And completely different fragrances. This is louder, but this doesn't last as long. So $300 full retail, that's $270 cheaper than Nefs. You can find it at the Kilian's website. Sometimes it also pops up at discounters. Check fragrancebuy.ca. I've seen it there quite a few times. So if you got the dollar bills, yo, check out Kilian's Musk Oud. Next up comes from Aaron Terrence Hughes, and it's oud. Now, Terrence Hughes Oud, I think this is $220 full retail. So that's a huge price drop from Nefs. Terrence Hughes does Oud and Rose fantastically. He does it in so many different facets, so many different ways. And in my opinion, I think he's a master with Oud and Rose and vanilla. And a lot of the things he does, actually. He's a freaking genius. But Oud is great, all right? So the two main players in this that really remind me of Nefs are Oud and Rose. But this is a completely different fragrance. This is a little bit fruitier because you got raspberry, you get some citrus up top. I think it's a sweet orange, and that sweet orange is really adding to this beautiful sweetness. Vanilla is done superbly, and also the way the vanilla and benzoin play off of each other, kind of adding a little bit of a spiciness coming from that benzoin, kind of give it a slight booziness. I wouldn't really call it a booze, but it's slightly. I could see some people saying it's slightly boozy. And then it dries down with a beautiful sandalwood. $220, fantastic fragrance. This is a beast as well. Performance is up there with Nishane Nefs. Probably not as long, but about. This, though, has better projection. So $220 versus $570, Terrence Hughes Oud. All right, now we're getting much cheaper. And I'm also putting it on here because fragrancebuy.ca right now has the 3-pack gift set with all 3 of these in it. And it's Shaghaf Oud from Swiss Arabian. God, I can see myself in this thing. Oh my God. This thing is photogenically ridiculous, all right? But it's cheap and it smells freaking awesome. So right now you can get this one, a Swad Oud, and then also I think it's just Shaghaf Pour Homme or Blue. All 3 of them for less than $70 US, all right? I don't know what that is Canadian. But Shaghaf Oud, fantastic. Beast mode projection, beast mode longevity, beautiful Oud rose fragrance. Now this has a little bit more drier spiciness in it, and that's just coming from saffron, but it's very sweet as well. It's not overly dry, but you get more dry facets than you do from Nefs. The 3 main components in this are going to be the vanilla, Oud, and rose. That is really the only similarity that it has with Nefs. Great performance, great smelling fragrance for freaking cheap, man. You can find this for less than $50 sometimes. Heck, if you get that 3-piece gift set, you know, $70 for 3 75 mLs. Totally worth it. My buddy got it for me. I hug him every time I see him just because of this. I mean, it's really good. Swiss Arabian Shaghaf Oud for the price is probably the best bang for your buck. If you were looking for anything close to what Nefs can do for stupid cheap, Shaghaf Oud. Straight up. That's it. I mean, just straight up, Shaghaf Oud. So go over to fragrancebuy.ca, check out that gift set, that 3-piece gift set. They're not paying me for this. I'm trying to help you guys out. Swiss Arabian Shaghaf Oud, totally worth a whiff and sniff. Okay, last up on my list. It's kind of a 2-parter. All right, so I got Franck Olivier's Oud Vanille and Oud Touch. Now, both of these, all right, share similarities with Nefs. Oud Vanille's got orange raspberry. It's got a nice, beautiful, sweet vanilla. It doesn't actually have Oud listed, and totally understandable because there probably isn't Oud in here. They just simulated the woody notes into smelling a little bit like Oud. A little bit of incense in there, spices and musk. No booze in this, and no booze in this either. But the way Oud Touch opens, which is also Oud Rose, the way this opens smells more like Nefs. The way this dries down smells more like Nefs. So if you layer both of these on top of each other, you kind of get there. Actually, it's kind of crazy. I'm just saying, just give it a whirl, all right? If you have Nefs and you have both of these, just give it a try. It doesn't smell exactly like it, but you kind of get that same feel. Both of these get great performance. Not anywhere near the performance of Nefs, but still, for the price, $21 or so that you can get either of these, totally worth it. Totally worth a whiff and sniff. So last up on my list is Franck Olivier, Oud Vanille, and Oud Touch. All right, so there it is, guys. Nishane Nefs, fantastic fragrance. It is stupid expensive. If you're really curious about it, get a sample, get a decant, and test drive it. See for yourself. If you're curious about buying it, definitely wait till you see it at discounters. But if you have the money for $570, do it, man. I mean, I would say sample and test drive first. But man, if you got it, check it out, man. Rock it, because it's gorgeous. Same thing with Shem. But if you want me to do an episode like this on Shem, drop me a comment down below. But that's it for me today, guys. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. If you enjoyed today's episode, then do me a favor. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And always remember, you are stinking beautiful. And until next time, happy scent trails.